1. A science instructor preparing students for the Arizona Science Test uses inquiry-based learning to align with adult learning principles. Which strategy best supports this approach? A. Providing step-by-step lab instructions for every activity. B. Allowing students to design their own experiments based on a central question. C. Requiring all learners to follow the same procedure and submit identical reports. D. Focusing classroom time on lectures and textbook readings. 2. During curriculum development for Arizona Science Test preparation, which of the following actions best ensures alignment with regulatory standards? A. Reviewing last year's student performance only. B. Adopting national standards without considering state-specific guidelines. C. Cross-referencing instructional content with the Arizona Department of Education's science framework. D. Allowing teachers to create content based solely on personal experience. 3. A mentor science teacher observes a new teacher struggling to maintain student engagement. Which mentoring strategy would be most effective? A. Recommending more worksheets to maintain order. B. Modeling interactive instruction and co-teaching a lesson. C. Assigning the new teacher additional readings on discipline. D. Avoiding intervention to preserve the new teacher's autonomy. 4. When evaluating students' mastery of scientific practices as assessed on the Arizona Science Test, which method is most effective? A. True-false quizzes. B. Group presentations with a scoring rubric based on test standards. C. Weekly vocabulary tests. D. Random oral questioning during lectures. 5. A science educator designs a curriculum map for the Arizona Science Test. Which component should be prioritized to reflect adult learning principles? A. Rigid content sequencing to prevent confusion. B. Frequent summative assessments. C. Integration of real-world applications into each unit. D. Heavy use of memorization techniques. 6. Which scenario best illustrates effective communication of Arizona Science Test expectations to adult learners? A. Posting objectives at the front of the room with no further explanation. B. Verbally reviewing objectives once at the start of the course. C. Creating a syllabus with clear test-aligned goals and discussing them with students. D. Allowing learners to discover the expectations through self-guided study. 7. A program evaluator assessing the effectiveness of an Arizona Science Test prep course should focus on which primary metric? A. Student participation in classroom discussions. B. Students' self-reported confidence levels. C. Pre- and post-assessment performance on Arizona Science Test-aligned benchmarks. D. Instructor satisfaction with teaching resources. 8. A mentor helps a novice teacher plan lessons that incorporate Arizona Science Test practice. What strategy aligns best with mentoring best practices? A. Giving the teacher complete lesson plans with no explanation. B. Observing silently and providing no feedback. C. Collaboratively analyzing student data to inform instructional decisions. D. Advising the teacher to stick with the textbook. 9. Which instructional strategy aligns with both adult learning theory and Arizona Science Test competencies? A. Drill and practice sessions without reflection. B. Individualized case studies exploring environmental issues. C. Standardized multiple-choice worksheets. D. Listening to recorded lectures on scientific laws. 10. In communicating with parents about their child's Arizona Science Test preparation, what approach is most effective? A. Sending a list of test topics home with no explanation. B. Calling parents only if the student fails a test. C. Holding a family science night to demonstrate test skills and expectations. D. Encouraging parents to independently research the test format. 11. During an evaluation of curriculum effectiveness, which method best measures alignment with Arizona science test standards? A. Comparing students' test results to national average scores. B. Reviewing textbooks for completeness. C. Conducting item analysis on student assessments mapped to Arizona standards. D. Tracking attendance and behavior referrals. 12. To enhance adult learners' scientific reasoning skills, which instructional design element is most appropriate? A. Emphasis on rote memorization of scientific formulas. B. Use of open-ended inquiry tasks related to local scientific issues. C. Daily silent reading of science texts. D. Regular timed quizzes on science vocabulary. 13. A mentor-teacher provides formative feedback to a peer during a lesson on ecosystems. What feedback approach is most effective? A. You need to speak louder. B. You should teach exactly how I do it. C. Consider having students construct food webs using local data. It promotes engagement and aligns with the standards. D. Next time, skip group work to save time. 14. An adult learner asks how science content applies to their job in renewable energy. The instructor should: A. Refer the student to the textbook. B. Emphasize that the content is for test preparation only. C. Design a project that applies test-aligned science concepts to renewable energy scenarios. D. Redirect the student to focus on passing the test. 15. To promote regulatory compliance, a science teacher must: A. Teach only national science topics. B. Avoid discussing standards with students. C. Regularly review Arizona Department of Education updates and modify instruction accordingly. D. Design lessons based entirely on previous tests. 16. What method best evaluates mentoring effectiveness in Arizona science test instructional improvement? A. The Mentors Teaching Awards. B. Improvements in mentees' lesson plan alignment with state standards. C. Number of mentor-mentee meetings held. D. Student participation levels in mentor's classroom. 17. Which strategy most effectively incorporates communication into an Arizona science test preparation program? A. Assigning homework with no explanation. B. Offering frequent feedback sessions with students based on practice test results. C. Posting grades on a bulletin board weekly. D. Providing test prep materials without any discussion. 18. A curriculum development team includes experienced teachers, test designers, and program evaluators. What role should the evaluators play? A. Leading all instruction. B. Designing textbook activities. C. Aligning assessments with Arizona science test performance metrics. D. Conducting parent-teacher conferences. 19. In a scenario where a student group fails a lab-based Arizona science test task, what is the most effective educator response? A. Grade them low and move on. B. Assign the task to another group for modeling. C. Facilitate a class debrief to analyze results and strategies. D. Eliminate lab work from future units. 20. A new curriculum introduces digital simulations for test prep. What should an evaluator measure to assess impact? A. Student enjoyment levels. B. Time spent on simulations. C. Test score changes on related Arizona science test benchmarks. D. Colorfulness of simulation graphics. Arizona Science Test AZSCI. The Arizona Science Test AZSCI is a statewide assessment designed to measure student understanding and application of the Arizona science standards. Administered to students in grades 5, 8, and once in high school, typically during biology, the AZSCI evaluates proficiency across key scientific disciplines, including life, physical, and earth and space sciences. The test emphasizes critical thinking, scientific inquiry, and real-world problem-solving. Delivered online, AZSCI provides valuable data to educators, families, and policymakers to guide instruction, evaluate program effectiveness, and support student learning. Aligned with current educational best practices, the AZSCI plays a crucial role in ensuring all Arizona students are prepared for college, careers, and civic life through high-quality science education. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of AZSCI exam. 1. Measuring student proficiency. The Arizona Science Test provides a reliable measure of how well students understand and apply science concepts aligned with state standards, helping identify areas of academic strength and improvement. 2. Guiding instructional planning. Results from the test inform teachers and school leaders in adjusting curriculum, teaching strategies, and resource allocation to better meet student learning needs. 3. Supporting accountability and policy decisions. The test offers statewide data that helps education policymakers and school districts assess the effectiveness of science programs and meet federal and state accountability requirements. 4. Identifying professional development needs. Educators can use test data to pinpoint gaps in instructional practice and target specific areas for training and support. 5. Engaging families and communities. Test results open dialogue between schools and families, promoting collaborative efforts to support science learning and student achievement.